Natalie is in London, Al is in LA, so I've called in some reinforcements. Mika Brzezinski, my friend and co-host on MSNBC's Morning Joe, also the author of the new book, Obsessed, out this week. So we just came across the street together.
Yep, we did. Ran across the street, actually.
Did one show at 6 a.m. Here we are doing this one.
Exactly. What's that? What are we doing, Willie?
Comcast is getting its
Working
money's
hard.
worth.
You're working hard.
That's what's
Working
happening.
hard for the money. That's
We're
for
going to
sure.
talk about her new book, a really important book, in just a minute, but we begin take 3 by checking in with Al and Natalie, separated by half a world this morning. Let's begin with Natalie in London. Hey, Natalie Brzezinski, as I said, the new book is called Obsessed, America's Food Addiction and My Own. Mika, we've talked a lot about this. We know the numbers, 2 in 3 Americans overweight or obese. This is a huge problem. You go to any playground in America, you can see that childhood obesity is a problem. But you wrote this from a personal point of view.
Well, it was inspired out of a conversation with a friend of mine who, over the course of 15 years of knowing her, went up to 256 pounds. And I confronted her about that. And then she confronted me back about how thin I was. And I began to pour out my stories. And it involves years of having eating disorders and running and exercising and just being on this cycle of trying to, that I see growing behind it. And that is the salt, the sugar, and the fat that's put in most of the food we eat, developing this brain reward. And we look at studies that looked at brain scans, and the pleasure center of the brain would light up when they would eat these foods laced in all these ingredients that are, I say, addictive. It would be the same type of lighting up as the brain would to cocaine. And so I linked this to addiction, and then we look at obesity, her obesity, and I challenged her. I said, write the book with me. I'll pay you to lose weight. To write the book with me and to lose weight. She has lost my friend Diane Smith, who's an Emmy Award-winning journalist who gained all this weight over all those years from drugs or cigarettes.
And a lot of high-profile people speak out in your book about their own struggles.
There's some solutions too, real ones.
Sounding the alarm.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's go to our take 3.
Oh, yes, good. This is a good one.
And
I love
bacteria.
I like
I
this.
wanted to bring you in on this because you're an unconventional mother in some ways.
Okay, that's what I've been called.
There's a study in the journal Pediatrics. This is an actual study that finds if you suck your child's pacifier clean as the parent, you may actually be helping your kids avoid eczema and asthma. Of 136 infants who used a pacifier in their first 6 months, 65 had parents who reported sucking the pacifier to clean it. In those children, both eczema and asthma strongly reduced when they were examined at 18 months of age. Now, we talked to some of our producers before who don't have kids, and they said, that's disgusting. Those of us who have kids, that's 10 times a day.
That
just
but
right back into the kid's mouth.
Especially if you don't have a place to clean it, there's no faucet, you're not going to give it back to the crying kid dirty.
No.
And you just, I mean, it's like from that to your mom licking the finger to get something off your face. Saliva does a body good when it's your mom.
You're a good parent. You would do that.
He's done it.
How old is your youngest?
He's 3 now, so he's out of binky phase, but when they were little.
You sure he is?
Yeah.
George? You sure he's out of binky phase?
He eats other things, but not the binkies.
But I love that beyond that, it's linked to possibly helping with eczema and asthma.
Here, really.
It's just
help your children.
Oh, my gosh.
No, I'm going to give it back to you. You know that.
Oh, God, no, please,
See,
please. I'm
she
not
won't
prepared.
do it.
No, she was prepared to do it.
Who gave her the props, by the way?
I asked for
Mika
it.
Mika comes prepared.
They told me there was a binky story. I said I need a binky for Willie.
And when Mika asks for a binky appears.
That could be useful on Morning Joe.
For co-hosts?
Just, I don't know.
You want to name names?
Like, here, start talking to me. Interrupt me.
No, I don't think I'm going to volunteer. I think that's a Mike Barnacle plug. Call this the Barnacle plug? Okay. I think that was a helpful and informative scientific segment we just did there.
Excellent.
Thank you. All right, Tamron, let's look at some of the other headlines.
So I don't know if the bird was dancing or if it was, I don't know. I'll investigate, though. Meanwhile,
She's going to look into that for us.
Of the weather from Al, who I know has something quippy to say.
Congrats again on the book. Obsessed. It's out this week.
Help Tamron's health.
No, put that in near me. I'll never talk to you again.
No eczema. No eczema.
Thanks.
Or asthma. Thanks, Mika.
You're
Obsessed is the book. Go get your copy. Coming up next, as Al just mentioned, George Lopez joins him out in